Your body knows how to be healthy. I'm your host, Martha Blessing, and this is the Place to Be Free podcast, a show that is passionately devoted to illuminating the potential within you to transform your health and life. We're shaking up and breaking up old paradigms so you can free up your mind and body, elevate your consciousness, and create profound well-being and a ridiculously happy and healthy life. On this show, we defy the norms and embrace a journey toward profound well-being and creating true freedom. We challenge patriarchal medicine, question fear-based culture, and dive deep into topics like quantum healing, energy medicine, mental science, consciousness, and universal spiritual laws. Whether you're here for solo explorations or the insightful interviews with individuals who've conquered fear and disease and broken through limitations, you're in for a transformative experience. If you're seeking empowerment, if you're ready for a life-changing shift, you're in the right place. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Martha Blessing. I want to ask you a question. What are you getting out of being sick? That usually pisses off a lot of people. I remember the first time that I heard that statement. Somebody was asking me that question. 10 years of daily chronic pain, right? And I had somebody ask me that. What was I getting out of being sick? I promise you, I wanted to punch them. I did. Why on earth would anybody believe that they were getting something out of being sick? Why would we choose to be sick, to be in pain? Why would I have chosen to be in daily chronic pain for 10 years, taking all the medications, all the pills? Most people will reply and say, well, I'm not choosing this, but we are. We are at choice every single day. We may not realize that we're choosing to be sick. We may not realize that we are choosing to be a victim. So why am I asking you this question? Why am I asking you to reflect on this? Well, when we ask different questions, we start to get different answers. Our mind and our energy gets called out and called up. And it's the beginning of the bullshit slaying, which quite honestly is really important. If you're someone who has been stuck in the same place and doesn't seem to get better no matter what it is that they try to do. So let me elaborate a little bit on this and why I'm asking that question and asking you to reflect and ask yourself that question. I heard this when I was still working as a nurse, and I started to observe families, patients, clients, and their dynamics, right? Their family dynamics. And we develop some of these choices and these patterns so early in our life, we don't even know we're doing them. Like, I'm shocked how many times on my healing journey, I'm pretty insightful. Because of my stillness and my daily practices, I see really clearly things that I'm doing. But then again, there's things that I don't see. And why don't I? Why don't we? And it takes the deep dive. And sometimes someone else to see the pattern. That's kind of my wheelhouse and my gift as a medical medium, medical intuitive, energy intuitive, as I see, hear, and feel the energy that's underneath the patterns that are underneath the symptoms, right? So I observed it when, an example, a woman is married to a narcissist many, 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 many years, decades, 5, 6, 7 decades. She can't see the pattern. This seems normal to her. She's been doing it for so long. Well, when a narcissistic husband will not, he's gaslighting, he won't give you love, attention, affection. He's in his own wounds, right? And he's using his own wounds against his wife, his children. And all she wants is to get the love that she feels that she deserves. We all want that, of course. And so she will subconsciously take on a pattern of illness in order to get him to pay attention to her, in order to get him to care for her, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So it's no surprise that we would take on an illness. Now, we're not aware that we're doing that. It's subconscious. And eventually, after decades of doing this and having her work with me in a program to where we bring this up and we bring this out, right? She's thinking, oh, it's not that bad. Compared to what? You've given your life away, like you're in illness all the time. And he's manipulating and he's yelling. Very, very abusive, very, very verbally abusive, mean, angry person. Well, one of the ways to get him to stop doing that is if she's sick. Then she can say, leave me alone, I'm sick, or stop that, I'm sick, or, whatever the MO is, right? So why would we choose to be sick? What are we getting out of being sick? Well, here's where it originates. And so I want to give you this information so that you can assess this in your own life, in your own world, based on your symptoms. We take on these roles and we're doing them for one of 3 reasons. We're either trying to get self-esteem, build our self-esteem. We're trying to get love. We are trying to get attention and security. So this woman would not leave her husband because he was the breadwinner. He was successful. And she said to me, at my age, I'm not going to leave. I'm not starting over. She's so entrenched in the pattern and the belief and the dynamic, right? You're married to somebody. If he's successful, you're married. And I know, we're not, this isn't a podcast where we get into all of the legalities of things. However, if she's raised a family with this man and worked in the home and, has some disabilities, things like that due to illness, she could leave. She could get an attorney. He could fight for her to have financial support and assistance so that she could live on her own and heal. But the dynamic has been going on for so long. She can't even see that as an option, right? She can't see that as an option. I talk about the two sides of the coin, right? Law of polarity. Price Pritchett talks about this in his book, U Squared, right? Making the quantum leap. And he's sitting in an inn in the summertime, and he hears and sees this fly on the windowsill buzzing, bzz, buzzing, buzzing, trying to make its way out through this pane of glass. And it will use every single bit of its last breath and life force and energy buzzing out on this windowsill. And 10 feet away, there's a wide open door. It could literally just fly across the room and be free. But it doesn't even know that there's a door over there, because the only thing it knows is buzzing on the windowsill. It's the only thing that it can understand. This is the law of polarity in action. So when you have that coin, right, if you're standing on the side that's heads, you don't even know that tail exists, and vice versa. If you've been standing on the side that's tail the whole time, buzzing on the windowsill, living in a narcissistic pattern and marriage, you don't even know that the heads side of the coin is right there. They exist at the exact same place and space and time. But all you can see is the tail. You can't even imagine that she could break free from this and be a person who could live happy and healthy. Be free from the digestive, right? Literally the reflux and the pain that happens. It's literally energetically the reflux and this knot that's like right, literally in where the subconscious is, right? The high heart, just like right at the mid-chest section, right? This is where the seat of the subconscious is, in the high heart. And it's literally getting stuck there, literally coming up. What's too much to swallow? I asked her. What is too much to swallow? Her soul knows what's too much to swallow. It's continuing to live this way, trying to get self-esteem, love, and attention, or a sense of security. No matter how bad it gets, she is in a familiar zone, and she would rather manage all of that dysfunctional energy to get a sense of security than she would break free and turn to God, source, and spiritual substance and universal laws to be a co-creator, a conscious creator. We have the ability to transcend and transform pretty much anything and everything with these universal laws and with energy and the subconscious and quantum field. But it feels like such a leap and a discrepancy that she will stay where she is. What are the reasons? What are the excuses? Where are the places in your life where you are not going for it? Whatever it is. Whatever it is. This woman, this client, wanted so desperately to be free from this. She wasn't willing to look at the truth. Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what is the truth about this? What is the truth about why you are not healing? Are you looking for self-esteem, security, or love and attention? Ask yourself, what relationships, what situations? It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a work situation. I have a friend who has a narcissistic boss, has a very, very frenetic, dysfunctional work environment, and she doesn't leave. She doesn't leave out of fear. Again, security. But it is eroding. She's in constant anxiety when she's at work. We do not have to continue to tolerate these types of situations. You are sovereign. You came here to live happy, healthy, joyful in your purpose. What are the reasons that we don't take the step? Why don't we go for it? Why don't we do the work and live our purpose that brings us joy? Because we're in fear. We're being programmed daily by the media to be sick, to be broke, to not see the available options. The journey that I took, right, from being a nurse, being sick, being in a wheelchair, 10 years of daily chronic pain, to coming out of it, to healing, to defying the diagnosis and the doctors, each step led me to the next, to the next, to the next. We will never see to the end. Life is not designed that way. It's like getting in the car. If I leave New York to go to California, I can only see to the end of my street. You only can see and need to see 200 feet in front of you. I could never have in my wildest dreams imagine when I was back there in pain, in a wheelchair, doing all of these other Western medical type things, even in the holistic. I could never imagine and see where I would end up in the just profound happiness and joy and prosperity and abundance that it would lead to when I would let go and surrender to my path and my purpose and really go deep and deep and deep into the heart of what is it I desire? What do I want? Your desires are in you for a reason. It's part of your plan. It's part of your path and your purpose. And I guarantee you, you didn't come here to be sick. You didn't come here to be broke. We might go through seasons where we're learning lessons, but that is not our natural state. We are sovereign. And we have the ability to change and create and mold energy in our bodies and in our life. So if you're not doing that, number one, is it making you sick? What are you resisting? What is the truth about this? If you truly, deeply love yourself, because part of what we're doing here and making these choices and staying stuck, being sick, is we're getting love, we're getting attention. If you truly, deeply love yourself, would you choose to have this experience? Would you choose to have pain? Would you choose to have immune system disorder? Would you choose to have cancer? I sound like I don't have compassion, but I do, because I've had all of these things. I reversed the rare incurable cancer in under 2 months. God didn't give me more than He gave you. I had to do the work. I had to do the work. It's not hard. It's simple, but you do have to be consistent. But I also had to take a long, hard look at myself. I had to look at the self-esteem, the love, the attention. What was I not doing? What was I afraid of? What was my excuse for not going for it? Security. Beliefs that were given and programmed into me from my parents about money, about success, addressing the unworthiness, right? This is the path. This is the pattern. This is what heals. What are you getting out of being sick? I guarantee you're getting something out of it. You're getting something out of it. I did it for years. I know a lot of my clients. I can see the dynamic and what they're getting out of it. Where are you staying a victim? What is the piece of your illness that is feeding a victim mentality? I fed a victim mentality for many, many years, spinning in circles. But I guarantee you can ask yourself as you're going to sleep and ask your subconscious, show me, I'm ready to see. It's safe for me to see. It's safe for me to know why I am choosing to continue to have these symptoms and this illness and this dis-ease in my body and my being. Don't wait, do it today. It's an eye-opener and it will move the needle for you. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Thanks for joining me on another episode of the Place to Be Free podcast. If you found inspiration in our discussions on empowered living, mindset, and spiritual laws and healing, don't forget to subscribe and share the wisdom with your community. Connect with me on social media, and for exclusive content, free resources, and to stay updated on upcoming episodes, visit the website at marthablessing.com/free stuff. Until next time, remember, you're the author of your story. Keep breaking through barriers, defy old worn-out beliefs and patterns, and create a life without limitation. I'll see you in the next episode.